Hi, the term that we're trying to remember is abolish the police. Not defund the police, not reform the police. Abolish the police. I'm not fucking kidding. No more police. There are only two things that have ever been proven to reduce crime, and it is reducing poverty and access to mental health care. Police are not on that list. We do not need standing armies in our community who are designed and trained to kill us. And I know what a lot of you are thinking. Okay, if we don't have police, who am I going to call when a crime is being committed? Well, first thing we have to figure out is the crime actively endangering anyone's life in that moment. Because the grand majority of the time police are being called, it is after the crime has already been committed. So there are plenty of people that could be doing that job that don't have to be armed soldiers patrolling our community. But let's say an act of violence is happening. Then you would do what you always do and call someone in your community to come intercede. However, if they make the choice to pick up a weapon and bring it into that situation, they should be held as responsible for that weapon as anyone else. They should not have a badge to hide behind when they misuse their weapons. They should have to sit there and weigh the risk of using a weapon, because most of the time when a weapon is brought into a situation, it makes it worse, not better. So giving anyone at all, the freedom to take weapons into dangerous situations and use them with qualified immunity is the stupidest way that we can possibly address that problem. Beyond that, though, the fact that the police are usually the largest budget item in any city's budget, but are actually proven to not have any impact on crime at all, we can use that budget on things that do. Namely, initiatives to reduce poverty, as well as initiatives to increase mental health care access. No one is going to feel the need to call in reinforcements on your Uncle Bob whenever Uncle Bob gets a little too drunk and a little too aggressive. That's because your Uncle Bob is never going to get drunk and aggressive in the first place, because one, he's not going to take up drinking because he's so stressed about how he's not making enough money to support his family. And two, he's not going to get aggressive because he's going to be going to therapy every other week to learn how to process his emotions like a human being. And I know your mind is going to all those other instances, those instances where someone is just an anomaly, someone who is just wanting to be violent for the sake of violence, and they purchase a weapon, and now they're out there committing violence. You are sitting there asking yourself, what do we do when those people show up and we don't have the police? To which I ask you, what are we doing when there is the police? We have police right now. We have more police than any time in history, and there are still people grabbing weapons, committing violence, and getting away with it. You can't use something as a criticism for a policeless society when the same thing is happening in a police-filled society. Meanwhile, one third of all police shootings are people running away from the police. Which means that guaranteed a third of all the people that police are shooting did not pose a threat. Not only were they not creating a violent situation, they were ending a violent situation by removing themselves from it, and the police decided to be judge, jury, and executioner anyway. The only way to guarantee that we survive interactions with police is to not have interactions with the police. And the easiest way we can guarantee that we don't have interactions with the police is by not having police. So I say again, abolish the police.